Hello guys, Evans here. Welcome to this video tutorial, and in this tutorial I'm going to be looking again at the October-November 2015 IGCSE ICT paper 3, a section on web authoring from um, I did a video on web authoring. If you check on the playlist of this tutorial, you'll find that there is a video on the same section, but that time I used front page as my HTML editor to do this section. I had a request from one of my subscribers actually to do a video of the same section this time around to use Kompozer, because this is what they are using in his school for as as an HTML editor. And I must say that it's the first time that I'm going to do a video in Kompozer, and it's my first time to use Kompozer. Right, so but it's fairly a very straightforward application to use, and I find it so useful in that most of the things are grouped together and you don't have to struggle to find this or find that. And please just feel free, if you need if you have any question, just comment it out and I'll be very glad to attend to that. Okay, so we're going to pick up from um, the scenario is that we will create a web page for the Tawara Wildlife Conservation Trust using the files downloaded in step 2, and do not use any image more than one. So may I just go back here? You notice that in the previous tutorials we had to create a folder N15 Tawara, and in that folder we put all the files that we would need, okay, for our work area. And so in this video I'm just gonna pick up from there. All the files that I need actually should be in this folder, right? So this is Kompozer, and I did open a session in Kompozer, and this is a blank session. You will see that here it's untitled, which means this is a blank document that is not given a title yet. Okay, so it's important. Usually when you run Kompozer for the first time, you will be greeted by this section. Okay, so one thing that I learned just trying to work and figure out how the interface is organized for this Kompozer and all, and I learned that actually Kompozer is a very powerful HTML editor compared to front page. I've not so much used Kompozer, but just from the few interactions I had with the interface, I was able to tell it's a um, quite a powerful HTML editor, and most of the stuff is grouped so close to each other that you don't really have to go around, look here, look there in order to search for what you're looking for. Okay, so you notice up here you have all these command buttons or command icons, and you see they are the very things that you really need in an HTML environment. CSS, HTML, tables, image, links, anchors, and all, and so on and so forth. Okay, so the first thing that you want to do when you actually are creating or working in Kompozer is to define which is going to be your folder where you're going to be storing your HTML files. It's very important. I think this is one powerful thing that I noticed from Kompozer, in that it demands, or not necessarily demands, but it has got a feature where you can define which of the folders is going to contain your website. And once you define that, you can have access to those files easier than just having those files lying around or scattered on your computer. So the first thing that you want to do actually in answering these exam questions is actually to create a folder where all your work is going to go to. Now you'll notice that Cambridge actually asks us to create a folder which is going to be our work area, where all the files that are going to be. So what I'm going to do, instead of me creating a new folder, what I'm going to point my Kompozer site manager, I'm going to point to that folder to say this is where you're going to find all my files. What I'm trying to say is, when you come on this little icon here, it says edit site list, click on it and then browse to your desktop. I'm gonna scroll down and go to N15 Tawara. Now N15 Tawara is the folder that actually that contains all the files that I need to answer a section from on web authoring from this paper. And so what I'm going to do is just to make this as my site folder. Okay, so I'm gonna click on OK, and I'll have the site as N15 Tawara. That's fine, and the site name is N15 Tawara. That should be fine, and this is just the root where this folder actually resides on my computer. So what I'm gonna do is just click on OK. So the moment I click on OK, you will notice that right on the left pane here, I'll have my folder, which is the site name here, N15 Tawara. And if I click on there, you will see that all these are the files that I need for this paper. Okay, they include also, of course, other CSV files which were used for the section of data analysis and stuff, but that's not important. But what I wanted to say and highlight here is that all the files that I need for the HTML section in this paper, they are in this root folder. Okay, so it's very important. Okay, so let's go back to the question paper. Step 29, we are told to create a web page called n15_3_sponsor.htm. Okay, so I'm just going to copy this name. Kind of feeling lazy to type today. I'm going to copy this name here and go back to Kompozer. Now remember, this is the title of the page. Okay, so I'm going to just hit on save on this one. Okay, meaning I want to save this page, which is untitled, and I'm going to give it the name. Just paste my name, the one I copied, n15_3_sponsor, and I say .htm, and you will see automatically you notice that Kompozer actually renames my untitled web page to this web page here. You see the name to the name here, and I need now to save this file. This is the HTML file now, the actual HTML file. I need to save it in N-Tawara folder on my desktop. Okay, so I'm just going to save it there. So this is the name, and I'll click on save. All right, so that done, we go back here. It says this web page must work in all browsers and will have a table structure as shown, and this is the table structure that we have. Okay, we have it's a 2-column table with 6 rows. Okay, so it's a 6 by 2, and we are told that the table borders and grid lines must be visible. Okay, and the table will be center aligned within the browser, and each table cell is identified with a letter, and all dimensions are actually in pixels. Okay, so this is very important, guys, because when you are programming, I don't know, well, when you're developing websites, you've got the option of using measurements or dimensions in percentages or in pixels. So it's very important that you change your dimensions to the let me say to the required dimensions or required units, so to say, so that you don't interfere or confuse yourself. Because if you change this and you took this as percentage and it was 620%, I can imagine the size of the website that you're going to have, because this is the width, and 620%, 100% of the width of this is actually the dimension that you have for the screen. Okay, and 620% is 6 times the dimensions that you have of your screen, and that is going to be a way too wide web page to use. Okay, so be mindful of the dimensions that you are told. If it's had to be in pixels, put it in pixels. If it's in percentage, put it in percentage. Okay, so with that said, let's create this table, or a table that looks like this: a single cell on top, and then with dimensions 620 by 190, and we have these cells 310 by 325, and some cells which are 310 by 80, okay, pixels. So we are going to create a cell, rather a table, which looks like this layout here. Okay, and we are told that the letters that are shown in the table should not appear in our final web page. So we shouldn't put A, B, C, D, and so on and so forth. I mean, we shouldn't do that. Okay, so going back here, so I have my blank. Let me just talk about these 3 features here. You have design, and then you have split, and you have source. Design, actually, you're going to see the design, a preview of the design as you work with it, and split is going to show you the design as well as the HTML code down there, and then source is just going to show you the HTML code. Pretty the same thing that you'd find in front page, as well as Dreamweaver. I think it should be the same thing that you would find there. Okay, so I'm going to work with design in the meantime, and I'm going to be switching between tabs as need arise. So I'm going to insert a table, and this table is going to be a 6 by 2. Okay, and so this is the table that I have here. So going back here, we're told that the table should have the dimensions. The width should be 620. We don't want to worry anything about the height, because the height is going to be um, um, the addition of each of these heights, and that will be the overall height of the table. So we are just concerned about the width of the table, which is supposed to be the maximum length, which is supposed to be 620. Okay, so I'm going to just go to right click on this table and go to let me go to table cell properties, and then I'll go to from this tab here which says cell, go to table. Okay, now under table you notice you have 6 rows and 2 columns, and then your height is not defined. Okay, but your width is 100% of the window. Now this is what I was talking about here. If you leave it like this, I mean, you may not know the exact size of the cell, but we have been told that the width overall should be in pixels, rather the dimensions should be in pixels, and the width should be actually a 620. Okay, so we have not been told about cell padding, so I'm going to delete that, and we've not been told about cell spacing, so I'm going to delete cell padding and cell spacing. And then we were told also that the table should be center aligned. Okay, the table should be center aligned within the browser. Okay, and so I'm just going to make the table center aligned like that. Okay, and no background color. We've not been told anything. Okay, so I don't think there is anything much that I need to change here, except that the table needs to be center aligned and that. So going back on cells, let me just apply this. So you notice the table actually has shrunk, and the width. Now I want you to notice something also. Check that the width is 620, but let me just say okay here. Note that you have 302 and 302 this side, and when you add up these two, you don't actually get 620 as the overall table width. But if you go to split, and maybe you just go to let me just go to the source, overall source, you notice that the table width is actually 620. Okay, so please, the difference here in front page, actually you will get under design, you will get to have the dimension displayed as 620 overall dimension for the width. But in Kompozer, I noticed that actually the dimensions are somewhat a little bit less than what is displayed there. So what I came to conclusion was the size of the it is measuring the size of the inner boundaries. If you notice, just the margin there, it is just corresponding directly to the inner margins of the dimensions of the cell. Okay, it's not picking up from the outer side here to the all the way to the outer boundary. You will notice that from here to there, it is actually corresponding directly to the inner dimensions of the cells. Okay, so that shouldn't really worry you. If you are doubting yourself, just go to source code and check that your 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 width is actually 620. Okay, so that is on that one. Okay, so I'm gonna go back here, rather on design, and I'm going to go on table cell property and go back to table. So the table alignment is center, as you can see it's center, and I'm going to go back now to cell to define the individual width and or dimensions of the cells. Okay, so you have got all these cells. You can define a row, you can define a cell. So I'm going to be defining cells and rows, but before I even do that, let me just have a look at the cells. You notice that this one A has been merged. You had 2 columns, but they have been merged. They were like B and C, but then it was merged to A, and K as well has been merged. So I'm going to merge the first cell and the last cell also here. Okay, so the first cell is this one. I'm going just to select both of them, and um, so once I select, I'm going to scroll down all the way to join selected cells. Okay, and then I'll have one cell, and then I'll highlight these two as well, and join selected cells, and then I'll have that. Then I can go ahead and go to cell properties and then define the dimensions for each cell. Okay, so we're told that the first is actually 620 by 190. 190 is the height. Okay, so 190, and it should be in pixels, and 620 should be the width. Okay, we're not being told about the cell style or text wrap or anything, or vertical alignment or anything. Just leave these other stuff the way they are. So I'm going just to click on apply. um, by the way, I did pick up a wrong cell, so pardon me for that one. I'm just going to undo this one. I did pick up a wrong cell, and this is why you find that. So the cell that I'm supposed to do that is this one. So I'm going to cell property, and yeah, then I'm going to pick 190 by 620. Okay, and apply. You notice the first one goes there. I'm say okay, and the next one is this cell. I'm going to pick up let me just check the dimensions. It's 310 by 235. Okay, so I'm going to define a row, cell property, and this time I'm defining a row. Okay, so you see it highlights both of them, both cells. This time I'm defining, and each one is supposed to be the height of 190, and the width is supposed to be 310, I think. I hope this is not going to interfere with um, let me just delete that. um, Pardon me, let me just change back to cell. The reason I'm changing back to cell, I don't want the height to be rather the width to only apply to one section. I want it to apply to both the cell and the just the entire row, let me say. So it's 235 the height, and it's 310 the width. Okay, yeah, that should be fine. Okay, so automatically it applies into the other one. Let me pick up also so just say okay, then let me pick up this one and go back here. It's supposed to be 310 by 80. So that one, I'll right click and go to cell properties, and then I'll change the height to 80 and the width to 310, and click on apply, and you see both of them get the share. And I'll come back here, go to cell property, and yeah, on cell I'm going to say 235, and then this other one is 310. Right, and the other one is this one. Right click and go to cell property. This is supposed to be 80 by 310. Apply and close, and then the last one is actually supposed to be 620 by 160. Okay, so just select it, cell property, and 160 and 620. Okay, so just click on apply and say okay. So you notice the table has actually gotten the structure. Pardon me, guys. Right. Sorry guys about that. I was eating something kind of sweet, so it's now getting into my throat. All right. Okay, so let's go back to the structure. So you notice this is what we have, and that's what we have as our table there. Okay, so it's pretty much the same structure. You notice it's 190, 235, and the dimensions for the width are actually shown in this direction, but the dimensions for the rather, these are the dimensions for the height this side, and then this is the dimension for the width, and you notice it's 610 as opposed to 620, and I explained that it's taking the measurements from the inside of the of of the cell. Okay, so yeah, guys, I'm sorry for my throat is kind of misbehaving. Right, step 13. In cell K, enter the text. Click on the name of an animal or the image of an animal to process to sponsor it. So I'm just gonna copy these guys just to save on time, and I'm just going to paste this one here. Um, just say paste, okay, and go back to my. It says set this text as style h2. So I'm just going to select the text and go on body text and set it as h2. So on a new line in the same table, table cell, add the text edited by, then followed by your name, center number, and candidate number. So I'm just going to copy this as well, and in a new line, so which means at the end of the case I just press enter and paste whatever I copied and edited by, and this time Chikasa Evans, and I'm gonna put my center number ZM556 and my candidate number as usual 001. Okay, and we are told to format this as H3. So I'm going to come back here, highlight this and format it as H3. Okay, step 31. Enter the text alligator in cell D, elephant in cell E, giraffe in cell H, rhinoceros in cell J, and we set the style to H2. So I'm going to go alligator in cell D, elephant in cell E, then giraffe here, and rhinoceros. Okay, I hope that's the spelling for rhinoceros. Yeah, should be. Yeah, so just wanted to make sure that the spelling is correct. Right, so we're told to format these in as header. Let's just verify header style 2. So let's go highlight alligator and check heading 2, elephant heading 2, giraffe heading 2 as well, and rhinoceros make it heading 2 as well. Step 32. Place in cell A the image n15 underscore 3 underscore title dot jpg, and so the image is supposed to go there, and the image that actually we are looking at is this image. So I don't know if this one allows me to drag and drop. Okay, it does allow me to drag and drop. So this is the beauty that I noticed in Kompozer, in that the images actually will be this side. The only challenge that you have is that the images cannot be seen in this case, but for this case, like n15 underscore 3 underscore title, I've seen this is the image I'm looking for. It's in my folder, so I can just easily drag and drop it there. Okay, and it's going to be that. But for these other images, I don't know them because notice step 33 tells you that you use the most appropriate image from whatever. Okay, from this image, or now is the list of the images that we have. So you are supposed to look at the image of an alligator and decide which one is an alligator and pick it up and put it there. But you notice that you can't just drag and drop these images there, okay, unless you just want to be try and error, try all these, and as they are dropped here, then you notice which one is for alligator and which one is for elephant, and so on and so forth. So what you want to do is actually to go on insert and then image, or you can go on image. Okay, so you put the cursor in where you want, and then you go insert image, and then this one shows you the location of the image. Now, so you browse and then pick up alligator is this one and open the image. I notice that. Now notice also how that if you try to save this as it is, um, and again please, sometimes when you are just using Kompozer, this link here may be unchecked. Okay, so if it is unchecked, then you are putting the image together with its file path, but this is not what we want, because our site is sitting in the same place where the images are, so we don't need an absolute um, file path. Okay, we need I mean, it's going to be relative file path, so to say. So URL is relative to page location, so tick this and then you see that the file path is going to be eliminated. But watch it when I try to save this, and what's going to happen. Okay, so you get this message to say, if the image is relevant to the content of the document, you must apply alternative text that will appear in text only browsers, and that will appear in other browsers when the image is loading, or when the image is um, image loading is disabled. Okay, so what this means is that, suppose someone is browsing using a browser that doesn't support images, or the images have been disabled, there should be some sort of alternative text to say this is what should have been here, so that the person is actually not confused or stuff like that. And I noticed when I was going through this, actually this is a section that tells you that you must make sure that each image has an appropriate alternative text attribute. So what I'm going to do is that at the time that I'm going to be putting each image, I'm going to be putting its corresponding alternative text. So in this case here, I'm going to type in this image that I'm getting. This is the image of an alligator, and I'm going to just type alligator, or let me just say image of alligator. Okay, image of alligator. All right, and this is pretty much about this one. So I'm just going to say okay, and you see the image has been there. So let me just put for an elephant as well, just there, and elephant is this one, and this alternative text is image of elephant. Okay, I mean, you choose the text that you want. It doesn't have to be image of elephant. You can even say elephant image or whatever, as long as it's something that can guide somebody. Okay, so here is going to be giraffe, so I'm going to image and go for giraffe, and I'm going to put here image of giraffe. Okay, and lastly, it's supposed to be rhinoceros, and I'm going to go on image. Right, I don't know if it's my computer which has frozen. um, Again, like I said in the previous videos, I'm trying to get the best video that I can get from my resources, hardware resources that I have. Sometimes the video is gonna pause a little bit. My computer is gonna freeze rather a little bit here and there. It's just because I'm trying to use as much of the hardware resources I can, just so that I can get a proper graphic video. So this one is supposed to be rhinoceros. Is supposed to be this one, and the alternative text is supposed to be image. Let me just put not here. Pardon me. Here it's supposed to be here is supposed to be the image. So let me just okay, just give it a moment, and hope it won't take long to respond. In the meantime, so whilst we're waiting for my computer to respond on the other section, so it says after we put this image, we make sure that each of the images placed in the step, actually all these images, they're actually 300 pixels wide, and actually they maintain their aspect ratio. Okay, so let me go back here and select rhinoceros is there, and the alternative text is image of rhinoceros. Okay, and that. Now you notice automatically that this one is somewhat a big image, and this is where the section that asked us to resize the image that they be 300 pixels should apply. So right click on the image and go to image properties, and then you notice that the image is actually 600 by 450. Okay, this is the actual size. So go to dimensions and then go to custom size. Now guys, I must say here that you must make sure that constraint is actually ticked. Okay, what constraint does is actually to maintain the image aspect ratio. Okay, in some HTML editors, this one is going to actually be explicitly stated as lock aspect ratio and so on and so forth, but in Kompozer you have it as constraint. So you must make sure that if you are going to maintain the aspect ratio, then this aspect is checked. Okay, so I'm going to put 300, and automatically you see that it actually reduces the image to 225 automatically, the height, okay, because of the log aspect ratio. And so I do that, and the image is resized. Okay, so done with this one. Step 35, use the image of an alligator placed in step 33 and the text alligator to create hyperlinks to the page n15 underscore alligator.htm, which will open in a new window called getter. Okay, so come back here, and I want this one to open this alligator, the link. So I'm going to go on link, and then it should link to the page, this one, n15 alligator. It's in your folder. Click open, and then if it was linking to an email address, we would have just said the above is an email address, but this is a web page. So under target, tick this one, and the target should open in a new window. Okay, and these are the other options. If it was to open in parent frame and stuff like that, you select the appropriate one. So it's going to open a new window, so just verify. Okay, so it's open a new window, and we're going to call the new window as getter. So it should open a new window. Then go to advanced edit, and so target is currently set to blank, and we are told that the new window should be underscore getter. So I'm going to go under target and select where it says blank. I'll put underscore getter, and okay, so you see it says target getter, and click on OK. Right, so it will open this frame to new window called getter. Okay, so click OK. Then also the image can be linked also to the same page, but I must also state here that the way you link text and the way you link an image is similar, somewhat, but some of the features are not the same. So I'll select open there, and go to advanced, and you notice that here I don't have target. Okay, so I can't set the target for like underscore getter and stuff. Okay, so but you notice that for the image it actually gave me that option to set, rather for the text it gave me the option to set target. So I don't have target listed here. Okay, and so I'm just gonna leave it as it is. Okay, so that shouldn't be, I don't think that should be an issue that you should really struggle as. Okay, so I'm just gonna say okay, so and say okay. So you notice these two are now hyperlinks, and alligator is underlined, and elephant, and so on. Okay, so make sure each image has an appropriate text. Okay, we've done that. So step 37, attach style sheet n15 underscore 3 style.css to a web page. And so what I'm going to do is to attach this style sheet to the web page. So I'm going to go on CSS, and under CSS I'm going to click this just small little arrow down here, and I'll say link style sheet, and then I'll choose the style sheet that I want to link to, and the style sheet is actually in my folder. This is my style sheet, and click open. So once I attach, I put this, and then I click here, I'll say create style sheet. Okay, and I'll say create style sheet, and you notice automatically the page in the background there changes, and the style sheet is actually attached there, and click OK. So step 37 says save your web page. Okay, so I'm gonna just save this web page, and step 38, display the web page in your browser, and in your evidence document replace the image with screenshot of the browser window. So I'm just gonna get this image displayed in the browser. I'll go file, and let me just go browse page, and you notice it actually displays this in the browser. Okay, so I'm just gonna zoom in a little bit so that I can get the image nicely. I'll just zoom in again, and that's too much. Okay, just that is fine. Okay, so that I can get the image. So I'm just gonna get a screenshot of this, and then go back to my evidence document, and let's say my desktop N15 tower, and this is my evidence document. And inside my evidence document, I don't know, this is which one now. No, this is not the one. No, it should be the one. It should be the one. Sorry, it should be the one. Sorry about that, guys. So under step 838, actually, that asked us we need to place the image there. Just put the image there. And like I said, it's important that you crop this so that it is visible. But I'm not going to crop it just for the sake of time, but you can go ahead and crop it so that it becomes, and then resize it so that it becomes a little bit visible. Okay, so let me go back to my question. So I've placed evidence of that, and then in your evidence document, replace the text HTML1 here with HTML source code. Okay, so I'm going back here and go to source, and then just get this entire source. Just going to highlight the whole lot of it and right click and copy it, and then go to my HTML, rather my document, evidence document, and right here I'm gonna paste, just delete this and then paste my source code. Okay, right, so this is my source code. Now you notice like it's got a lot of tags here and there, and some things that we didn't even put there, but it's important because you are using just an HTML editor, and some of this stuff you didn't put there, they were just put automatically there. Okay, so I don't think there should be an issue. What is important is that the major issues or the major features that you are asked in the exam, you actually did them. So the last section, step 40, says that in your save and print your evidence document, ensure that all evidence is clearly visible and can be easily read. And this is why I was talking about the aspect of you resizing your image, or rather your image, crop them and then resizing them. Okay, guys, so this has been the section on web authoring, and I hope it has been informative for you. Bob, my guy, the one who requested for me to do this video in Kompozer, I hope you've learned one or two things, and thank you so much, Bob, for the encouragement and encouraging your friends to have a look at my videos. And I hope that you, as you prepare for your mocks and eventually your final exam, that you will do well in your exam. I wish you the very best. And to the rest of the guys, if you've not subscribed to my channel, feel free to subscribe to my channel. What you get is that whenever I post a new video, you get a notification in your inbox that I've actually put up a new video. And please get to like my videos, share them with your friends, with your classmates. Just have this thing where you're free to revise with your friends using my videos. Okay, so I'll see you in the next video, guys, and I hope if you do have any other past paper question that you want me to tackle, please just comment it out in the comment box, and I'll find some time to look at that, and then I'll put up a video concerning that, and I'll tag you. All right, so guys, thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next video. Right.